Good evening.
Hi guys, can you hear us okay?
Hi Dana and Christine and Kaz and Susie and Edwina and Rainey. Wow, we've got lots on tonight.
Anna, not Phoebe.
I love it.
Survived the storm in Hawaii.
Edwina.
Hello.
Hello.
Good, we got audio.
Susie. Yes, we can hear you guys. So many on. This is awesome. Hello. Come to stay with Nanny. Adorable. Hello.
I hope you're asking her for lots of sweeties. Crisps and sweets.
Yeah, all the sugar that you're growing.
Don't say that word. No. No words.
Yeah, lots of sweeties when you come to
No.
the house.
Can't hear.
Can't be done.
You never have sweeties at Nan's house. Not allowed at ours.
And you have to go play trampolines on the bed.
Well, he's a nightmare when we've got Franklin or Rams here. Welcome to everybody. We've got some newbies on tonight. Amazing.
Yeah, hi guys. Brilliant to see you.
So Edwina's taking the call tonight. So are you ready?
Yeah, right.
You could do it.
You can do it.
Can do it or gonna do it are two different things.
It's a brilliant night for me tonight because I'm going to let Sandra write tonight. I'm literally just going to sit here and be like Candy.
No! You can do that though, can't you? You're all right at doing that. That's
You're right.
Cool. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give people maybe a couple of minutes to come on.
Mm-hmm.
That T-shirt of Steve's pops out of the screen. It is hilarious. The Pulp Fiction bit looks like it's 3D.
Kind of in free space. It's just hovering.
It does. It doesn't look like it's stuck.
It does look like it's.
I like to be noticed.
I couldn't tell.
No. Thing is, we'll just come on black because we always wear black and we always come on and we look like we're both going to a funeral or something. So I thought I'd jazz it up a bit tonight, put something a bit colourful on.
Black is my colour.
Hey Claire.
Hi Claire, how are you? She sorted her picture. Did you see? We're going to unmute you.
You managed to fix it, yeah?
Claire, if you haven't seen the saga, Claire has had the problem of not getting her image up on. Can you see at the bottom where Carolyn and Kez's and Chesaree's phone obviously are not displaying the picture? Well, Claire really wanted her picture to display and she could not sort it out at all. I didn't have a clue, but some bright spark in first class said, I don't know who it was, log in with Facebook and then it draws. I thought it automatically did that because that's how. Oh, there you go. There's Claire. But it automatically draws your Facebook profile picture in when you log in with Facebook. So, Kez, Carolyn and Chesaree, next time if you want to come on the Zoom, log in with Facebook, it will pull your image out. Hello, everybody. This is great to have a full house tonight. Amazing.
Definitely.
Right.
So, in case you don't know tonight what we're going to do, guys, because we normally come on every Thursday. We do the Zoom inside of First Class every Thursday. And we'll always cover some kind of a training. We'll always try and, depending on, what the flavour is, what we've been talking about, what's been going on, we'll always try and offer some kind of further in-depth training based on whatever. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is all about the cover images for your Facebook group. Now, this is something that, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Something that a lot of people have trouble with. Because Facebook are a little bit of a weird entity. They changed all the sizes. They keep changing all the sizes, actually, but the latest sizes, the way they've done it, is they've done it so that you kind of get the best of both worlds. So that it shows the image on a laptop or a desktop, and it also shows the image on mobile. And the way it does it is it kind of crops the image. So there's no one size that fits both formats. If you put just one size of image up, there's a good chance you'll crop a lot of it off on a desktop, and vice versa. It won't look good on a mobile. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to format your image and get it all laid out perfectly so that it fits exactly in the right spaces that Facebook allow, so you don't get things like tops of heads cropped off or lettering that doesn't show up because you're looking at it on whatever format you're looking at it on. So it's going to be a good one.
It is. Can I just say before we carry on, oh, look at Jen, late to the party again. Come on, Jen, letting the side down.
Takes her longer to walk to a computer, that's why. She only got the
legs. Jen is started already. Can you believe it? She's just got on and you started on her.
I've been struggling with Camtasia, blooming thing. It doesn't have to take a while to upload a chuffing video.
It really, really does.
Oh,
My heart, seriously, I feel it. I'm feeling your pain. It is a nightmare. Yeah, if anybody's new on, this is normal banter for Thursday night. So,
Which is
Yeah,
really
you always
good.
pick some little ones.
I told you that's my job tonight. I'm going to just be here to banter. Sam's doing all the training tonight.
Thank you.
She does this day in, day
Thank
out.
you
I'm
very
just going to
much.
sit here and annoy everybody.
Just look pretty. You
Yeah.
just sit there. Yeah, all I wanted to say was moving forward before we get started, this is just for your group cover image. Your actual, sorry, I'm just going to, if you want to unmute yourself at any time to ask a question, go for it. I'm going to mute you all out so you can all hear me. No, you want to hear me, but otherwise it can get a bit distracted. Or throw it in the comments. You're right to keep an eye on the comments.
Sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Your personal profile cover image and your page cover image are different sizes. And there's different cropping points. And it's different. So this is just your group tonight. Okay, we'll cover the other ones in other times, but this is just for your group because it is different to the other ones.
Just to make life easier.
Yeah.
So you've got different size dimensions of your images across all the different platforms.
Yeah.
Just to make life simple.
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you, Facebook? Why wouldn't you do that to us? But obviously, the 30 Days to Impact, we want to grow your groups. So we want to make sure that your group cover image looks awesome. So we are going to stop my icons bouncing around, first of all.
I will say, just before you jump in,
Yeah, go for it.
don't underestimate the power of this particular training, because when people come across your group, when people are discovering you online for the first time, they are looking at what you've got going on. And if you believe it or not, statistics now say that you're judged within half a second based on the design of what you got going on. So if your group or your page or whatever you're dealing with looks nice and professional, it's well laid out, it looks like it's been designed well, you're going to get a lot more people jumping on. The first thing people judge you on is the design, and then they'll look at the details. But like half a second, experts are now saying, people have made their mind up on whether you're like presenting as a professional or an amateur. It's whether they want to spend any more time looking at what else you've even got. So don't underestimate the power of looking good on your Facebook.
And like Edwina said, there's
page.
eyes everywhere. People are watching. They definitely are. And if it's all cropped and it's all skewy and it's not sitting right, it's horrible to think, but people do judge you on it. It's like, oh, well, what kind of a business are you if you can't even get this right? They don't realise that Facebook change it all the time. That's why it goes wrong. But I try to keep up to date with this as much as possible. So if it changes, you guys are the first to know. I always let you guys know to make sure that you can then change everything that's going on. Now tonight, what we're going to do is Steve actually created, because he's creative like that, he's created this template for you guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it with you in Canva. So if you've got a Canva account as well, and if you haven't, it's free, go grab one. I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to show you how you can use it to really effectively make sure your image is perfect. So,
have you guys all heard of Canva, by the way?
Yeah, let's have a vote. Put your hands up if you have heard of it. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool. I think most people
awesome.
have. Yeah, Edwina's not putting a hand up. I don't know why not.
Yeah, she hates Canva. She's still getting her head around it.
Really? Are you not comfortable on Canva? Okay.
It takes me 2 hours to do on Canva what I can do in 10 minutes on my phone. It probably wouldn't if I practiced, but the pictures I make on my phone literally take absolute 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Canva just haven't sat and learned. But I've got 2 weeks off work after tomorrow.
What we're going to run through now, you really can't do on your phone. Unfortunately,
but you could, but it would take you a real.
You couldn't. No, you need the template. Honestly, you need the template, and you wouldn't be able to do it. Well, you might if you were really like hardcore and just sat there and figured out what apps to use, but you would be making your life a lot harder doing it.
You just make it 15 times and keep making it smaller each time, and eventually one fits.
You could do that as well.
Easy,
yeah, if you've got all day, it's great. Or you could do this.
I need to learn it.
You'll be sorted. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go across to my desktop. And now if you hear a load of banging and clashing in the background, our daughter is actually just coming back from Scotland. So she's coming here and probably going to be making a noise, getting in here in a little while. So if you hear that going on, that's what that is. So let's first of all, let's just go and have a look at our group cover image. Let's have a look, see. It will come up eventually. We should have hardwired this actually, shouldn't we?
We can, if you want me to shoot, I can do that.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Okay, so this is Tribes. This is our group cover image. So you can see here that the writing is just, this is as far as I can scroll. The writing is just touching the top and it's just got a tiny bit of clearance at the bottom. If you look on mobile, ooh, sorry. Can you see how much extra space is at the top and the bottom? How much Facebook crop it off on a desktop? Now, most people will look on your on a mobile, but you've got to allow for people who do look on desktop as well, because there's a lot of us. I work mostly on a desktop, and there's a lot of people who would work mostly on a desktop. So we really want to make sure that we have both of it covered so that it looks good on both devices, because you really don't want to put somebody off. If they come to a desktop and they can't read half of it, it will be putting them off. So what I'm going to do is take you across to my Canva. If you've never seen Canva before, this is what you will get when you very first come on. It's free, go sign up, have a play with it. It's such a cool platform. So what we do, we're just going to come over to here. Now, this is what Steve has designed and what I'm going to share with you guys. This is the perfect size for your group cover image, because what it does, the whole image, so the whole area is 1640 pixels by 859. Now, on a desktop, all of that shows. So the whole area will show. That's
not actually true. Sorry to correct you. It's all visible on a mobile device, but on a desktop it crops.
Yeah. Okay, it's been a long day. Thank you. Thank you, because that was really confusing. Yes, all visible on a mobile, as you can see. On a desktop it crops. Good job, Maria. I'd have really confused everybody.
Not just
with that
a pretty face. Not even a pretty face. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
But can you see these green bars at the top and bottom of this image? That is your cropping area. So this is what Facebook will crop when it comes to your desktop version. So we need to make sure that your image is within this area here, which is the 662 pixels. Now, we are going to make this like super simple for you to create your own, because this is what you're going to do. I'm going to share this link with you guys, so you will all have access to this template, okay? And what you do, when you come on and share it, the first thing I want you to do is, can you see these two little boxes up here that says copy page? Just at the top, it says copy page. Anybody see it? No? Where my cursor, you can see it. Awesome. So literally just click copy page and it will give you a copy. So this is the master, and I need you to just copy the page. This will be what you work on. Okay, this is your design now. So what we want to do is we're going to start adding some things to it to create your perfect cover image. And there's a few things you want on there and a few things you really don't. First of all, no company names, no company products, no company anything unless it's your own company. Now, somebody said to me the other day, they've got their own business, their own company, and they had their little logo on it. And because I'd said, don't put any branding of your company on there, I can't remember who it was, I think it might have been Sarah. And she said, oh, should I take that off? And if it's your own company, it's totally fine. We have our own logo on my group image, and obviously on my personal profile, I have it as well. But if it's a company logo or company products, I wouldn't so much put it on your group cover image, because you are branding you as the expert, not your company.
So when we say your company, we mean a company that you physically own.
That's what you can do.
Not a company that you represent.
Yeah.
If it's a company you represent, don't go on there.
Go to part and then like that.
We'll go into the chat.
Can you do that? Sorry guys, 1 second.
Sharing the screen.
Yeah. Bear with us guys. Let's try and get the I'm going to unshare it for a second. Will it be easier? Yeah, do that.
It's not working here, is it?
Right, bear with us. Can you hear us at all? If so, do you mind just muting yourself? Because we can't actually mute you. Just share.
Ah, that's why, is it?
Yeah.
For a second. There we go.
About this one. That's the one I couldn't mute.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
Okay.
At least it's quiet now. So okay, you want to go back into share, yeah?
Back to share. Yes. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay.
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. So what we're going to do is we're going to start building your cover image. And as I say, this is the perfect size and this is all laid out for you and you are all going to get this template. So the first thing I would do is think about a background. I'm not going to go into all these details in immense details because honestly, when I create somebody's cover image or our own, it takes me hours because I am really fussy about colours and sizes. And do you need to mute everybody? Yes, sorry. I can't see, bear with me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go for it.
Right. Okay.
That's what you want.
Okay. Fingers crossed this time. So, where was I? So, background, first of all. Now, you may create something of your own, or you can use something that you find online, or you can use something that Canva have got for themselves, but you want to have something that makes you stand out as you. And we've changed our branding a little while ago, and Steve, the royal we always use the royal we have created this starbursty kind of effect because we want people to instantly recognize our images when they come up. So we've created this effect. You.
Can I just rewind a little bit there?
No.
I'm just going to jump in. Right. The one thing I will say is when you're doing these pictures and you want to get pictures of yourself on here, the higher the resolution that you can get those pictures. In other words, the bigger the picture,
yes, the
better the quality is going to be. So you don't want to take a little tiny picture that you've got somewhere that's really grainy and really blurry and try and blow it up and put it on Facebook. So the better quality of picture that you can start out with, the better you're going to look when you're finished. So I'll tell you the way we get our pictures.
So did you unlock?
Yeah, it should be unlocked. Sorry, my daughter's just coming in. If you can see that picture that we've used in our header image there.
Starburst. Should I put it up?
No, not the background, the image of us.
Oh, okay.
The image of us. Because you might be thinking, well, I haven't got any pictures like that. I don't know how to get somebody to take a good picture of me to be able to use it and stuff like that. What we do with that is I literally take the iPhone, we put it on a mount somewhere, we put it on a tripod and we record video. And I'll step it up because our iPhones will take 4K video, which is the highest resolution that you can pretty much get on an iPhone. We'll just literally goof around, right? We'll put the camera on, we'll just record video and we just mess around, pose it. Like we'll literally just goof around for about 20 minutes in front of the camera, just pointing that way or pointing that way. And
it's where this one comes from, and these ones come from. Yeah, just messing around.
And then what we do is we'll take the phone and we'll just scroll through until we catch that particular frame that we're both looking at each other or we're both smiling and one of us hasn't got our eyes closed and stuff like that. And it just looks natural. And we just literally press the home button and the power button at the same time and grab a screenshot of that particular frame of the video. So if you're thinking, well, I've got to take hundreds and hundreds of photos of myself and I don't know quite what to be doing in those pictures and I haven't got anyone to help me, it's a little embarrassing, right? Because you feel like you feel like a bit of a fool doing it. But literally, set your camera up, start the video, and just pose. And then just go back on your own and just scroll through the video until you see a frame that you think, oh, that's a good pose. I like that pose.
Out of 20 minutes video, you'll probably get one or two that you like. Because we did it a few weeks ago, and I think we literally have about 3 pictures that are passable. And we're like, the rest are awful, but we've got a few, and now we're using them in our marketing. But it's a really good way. And I'm going to show you in the next step how to take that picture and cut your background out. I'm going to do that in a second.
Yeah.
But for your background, I mean, we use this one, but what you can do is you can come here. Canva have their own backgrounds. So you can come here, and these are all free to use. You can scroll through them. You can see what's in your color palette, something that you want to use, and you can use any one of their free images. What one should we choose, Steve?
Just go with like a, maybe just go with the grey one, just something reasonably solid, because for this particular experiment, it doesn't
Why is that
matter
not
too
coming
much.
over?
I do not know.
I do know, actually. So right, so when you've chosen your background, we're going to just go with this grey one. We just double click it, but the thing is, it's actually put it behind this image. So we've got this image at the front. So what we need to do, and the reason why we've left this here, is because it's a template for you to work to, so that you can actually see where to put everything. Because when you're just working from a blank canvas, you don't quite know where all the cropping lines are and where the thumbnail preview is, which again, I'll go into in a little while. So the trick here is to click on a background that you do want. So we've clicked on this grey one, and then we're going to come up to here, which is the transparency, little tiny box up here. Can you see that?
Can I stop you just one more time?
You can.
I'm very sorry. Guys, are you all familiar with the concept of layers? Because this program, Canva, uses something called layers. And basically what that allows you to do is you can stack layers or different images on top of each other.
See, that's what I brought you on tonight, because you're far more technical than me.
So
layers.
That background is there, but you can't see it because the template is blocking it all out, because that's the layer that's on top. If we move that out of the way, you'll see the layer behind it. So when you see these really nice looking pictures, you see that, you know, really elaborate pictures where the background's all exotic, but you've got a person that was taken, you know, that have cropped it out and stuff. They've done it by just putting layers on top of each other, which is exactly what we've done in our image. We've taken that cut out picture of us and put it against a different background. Those are on different layers. And then when you're finished, you export the picture and it flattens it all down to one image. But it's one image, but it's made up of all these different layers that you can move around independently of each other until you're happy with the position of everything. And then you just export it and it comes back as one image. Hope that made sense.
If it didn't, put it in the chat box and we will definitely get back to you guys. So we've got two layers going on at the moment. We've got the template at the beginning, at the front, and we've got the...
This is what happened if you move that layer out of the way. You've got another one.
I've got another one, yeah, that needs to go. It always does that, it's weird. Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. I am actually going to go for a different colour, because it's...
Right, that will show it better.
That's better, yeah.
That's cool.
Right, so this goes over the top. So this is our template, okay? What we need to do, we want to fade that away so that we can actually start working on our other image. So we're going to come up to the transparency button, and then can you see here, it's got like a slider panel here, and we can just slide the transparency. You can go all the way there, you can barely see any of it. Come all the way back, you can see where you're working. So we're going to put it about here.
You want it so you can see the lines, you can see what your guidelines are, but it's not going to obscure you positioning those other layers behind it as well.
Absolutely.
So you can kind of just use it as a semi-translucent guide so that you can get your layout mapped out on that particular picture.
Definitely. Okay. So one of the things that you must have on your group cover image is a picture of you, because everybody wants to see you. It is your group. And as you might not believe this now, because you might be thinking, but I've only got 50 people in my group. I promise you your groups are going to grow. And as your group grows bigger, people actually won't know who the admin is. I'm in a group, and there's probably about 1,000 people in there. And this particular lady did not have her cover image didn't have her profile image in the cover image, and she didn't have her name in the group after either. And there was people in that group who were advertising the services that she was offering, but B, they were asking for recommendations for who could provide this service. That this woman had set up a group to serve her members with. It was unreal.
That stings a bit.
It was
when
bad,
you do something and people come in and go, do you know anyone who does that?
Yeah.
It's like, hello, I'm
it's
here.
My group.
It's my group.
And,
we
and this
didn't
poor
realise.
lady, and I did say to her, get your picture in your cover image, definitely. Because it's just that recognition that people come, people see you, and you want them to get used to seeing you. And you definitely want people to know who you are so that they know it's your group, they know who to tag. And I know we all have those little admin buttons now, but people probably don't really know what they mean. So you need to be front and center. If that scares you, we're going to get over that. Because like Steve said, grab your phone, take a little bit of video and get a really nice image. And I promise you, right, if you took 100 pictures, you will hate every one of them. Just choose one anyway.
We've had some great discussions, haven't we?
Yeah.
You won't believe how many images I've worked on and done, and then Sam will come in and go, I'm not using that. Oh, look at my face. I'm pulling a funny face. My eyes are off center. No, you're not using that.
It happens.
All the time.
But just choose the best out of a bad bunch, because you will think they're bad. Choose the best one and run with it. And it's better to just get it out there than spend 6 weeks worrying about your image. But I'm going to pretend you've all got your amazing image. And I'm going to introduce you to a cool, it's not an app, you will have to go on a desktop for this. It's something called, I call it Background Burner, but it's actually called Burner Bonanza. Let me just take you back a step because I was practicing this one earlier on. And what this cool tool does, it's amazing. It actually crops out all of your background, just leaving a nice clean image of you. And then you can actually put that image, well, you can put it on your cover images, you can put it on your images for your group, you can put it on websites, anywhere you want. And it's so easy. Now, Steve hates me for this because he is a Photoshop man.
No, I'm whatever works. Listen, I've been using Photoshop for like 10, 12 years. So to me, it's second nature. But
I can't get to grips with Photoshop.
When I started in Photoshop, this stuff didn't exist.
Yeah.
There was only Photoshop. So it's what I'm used to.
If you're doing Photoshop, use Photoshop.
Yeah.
If you're not like me, I don't do tech. I can't stand it. I can't do Photoshop. I've tried and I just can't do it. So that's me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click choose photo. We'll save it onto your laptop. And then I'm just going to choose this one. This was the actual still. Again, this was from the video. And this was a still that Steve got from the video. Bear with me. It's coming. We should have hardwired this. Sorry, guys. It's a little
takes a sec.
Little bit slow, but okay. Let's just... Right. So there is my image. Now why has that come up again?
What?
Well, look, because I've already done it. That's why.
Okay.
So.
Choose another image. Have you not got one?
Yeah, I didn't prepare another one. Bear with me, guys. All right, I'll use this one. Let me just use this one.
Yeah.
Same image. I've already cropped it out, but it's not working because I cropped it out. I was going to do a Blue Peter moment. I'm probably really showing my age here. Here's one I did earlier, and it didn't work. So you upload your picture, and this is what it does. It all for you. This is what it does. You literally click upload, and then it does its own whizzy-whirry thing. That's a technical term for it. Whizzy-whirs. Well, and then it gives you some options of how it crops it out for you. And as you can see, I have just the head in this one, no body. This one, I've still got quite a bit of background. This one, some of me is cut off. So you can see it's not done it perfectly. So what I'm going to do is choose the best one out of all of those. And I'm going to go for this one because it's actually got a little bit of my hand there already cropped out. So I'm only going to need to touch it up a little bit. So I'm just going to select touch up. And then it's going to give me that option. So can you see, this is the original on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, it's where it's actually already done a lot of the cropping for me. So what I'm going to do now, we've got two buttons over here on the left-hand side. We've got the minus button, which will take parts away, and then the plus button, which will add parts. So I'm going to go with the minus first of all. And I'm just going to come down here to the, hang on. on this one. So I'm just going to come down here to the side of my arm. Can you see over on the right hand side where there's still a little bit of green? I'm literally just going to drag this red, it's almost like an eraser. And can you see how it's just gone? There's still a little bit of green left, so we could go back over it again. And it's still there. Let's try that again. I'm not even going to bother. You will have far more time to do it than I will. But it will take away the bit of the background. And we'll just come over here as well. And I'm just going to use this red marker just to cut this bit off again as well. And you don't have to be very particular with it. You can just literally move it around like that. Can you see it's all gone? That part's gone. And then I'll just come under here under my arm and I'll just remove this part. And you just do that and it's all gone. Now, can you see this bit here in this middle bit? It hasn't actually cropped. I thought it did. But this round tool that I'm using is a little too thick to be able to get in there. So what I'm going to do is go back up to this red background remover. And then I've got different size tools that I can use. So I'm just going to click on the smallest one. And then I'm just going to cut around my hand. Now, guys, when you do this, you'll have a lot more time and you'll do it so much better than I will. But, oh, look at that. I'm doing myself biceps.
It's done it, though.
It's done it, yeah, it's got rid of it. You can see how it's cut all of that image out. Now, if I wanted to add some bits, if something had been taken away, I don't want to mess around with it too much, actually, but I could actually press on the green button and just say, for example, I wanted to add a little bit in and make a bit, if they've cut something extra off, I'll just put the green button and it will give me...
And you'll put it back?
Yeah, exactly, I'll put it back. I'm just going to go back to the red one and I won't be able to get it as good as the other one. And I'm just going to literally delete what I've done. I knew I wouldn't be able to get it back.
Doing it. It takes a little second just to process it, I think, but it is getting it.
So you just literally go over it until you've got, that will do. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. You get the idea. You get the idea. When you're happy with your image, what you want to do then is come over to the right-hand side on this green button, and you just want to process it. And it just works it out for you, and it processes it. Give it a few seconds, and then it says complete. Now, the thing to remember is, well, I don't want to get too technical on you, but we need to make sure we save it as a PNG file. And PNG just... don't know the technical babble for it, but it just basically means you don't have a background to it. What does PNG actually stand for?
I'm trying to think now, actually. I did know this one. Portable network graphic, I think.
Something like that. It doesn't even matter what it stands for. It just means there's no background. So when you go to download, it says download as a JPEG, which if you download it as a JPEG, it's going to give you the white background. You don't want that. So you only want to download as a PNG. So we download it. We download it.
Is it doing it? Is it thinking?
It's thinking. There we go. It's done. Okay, so I'm going to come off of that and I'm going to come back to our image. So what we do now is once we've downloaded that image, we need to upload it to Canva. So we're going to go into uploads over here on the left-hand side. Nearly.
One thing you need to know about Sam, by the way, a little bit of trivia. She doesn't know her left from her right.
I'm sitting here as I'm turning left to right. I'm actually moving my hand.
That's a true story.
I literally don't. I'm whatever you call that.
We're in the car and I go, which way is it? She goes, left. And I'm like, that's right. She goes, oh yeah, that one, the other left.
I really don't. And I am under the computer. I am like, which one?
Yeah, Susie, doesn't matter. She always takes a moment to process it.
I have to. Yeah, it's crazy. Moving on from my craziness. So what I'm going to do now is just select that image, and what you'll see here, can you see it's just uploading it? But what you want to do is just wait for a few seconds until this little round button over here has gone all the way to the top, because if you start uploading it and then just click straight on it, it won't work. So you just have to give it a few seconds to process. Now you can see it's uploaded, the button's gone, I'm here, and all I need to do is literally click on it, and then I'm here on my background, and I can just, and there's two of me. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? But what you can do is if you click on the image and you drag out these corners, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, and do whatever you want with it. But you just want to make sure, see if I put myself up here on a desktop, that's going to cut half my head off. So we know from this template that we really want to have this image probably about here, because obviously we're all about Facebook. I want to get the Facebook cushion in there just because Jen made it and it's amazing. So we could put that about there, and that is going to show really nicely on both the desktop and a mobile. And you definitely want to have yourself there for self-recognition. One thing that Facebook does as well is when they are searching for a thumbnail of you, they will pick up on your face. And again, people recognize you. They don't always recognize your company logo or a product. They want to see you. So can you actually see my face, or can you just see the screen? Just the screen, I'm thinking. Us and the screen. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. So I'm just going to go into, 1 second, guys, I'll show you what I mean. So this is my groups, and can you see here the two groups that I can't see I don't know if you can see that or not, but it picks out our faces, and that's the thumbnail that gets shown when people are searching for your groups, or if it's being shown on a mobile. So you definitely want to get your face in there for facial recognition, because you've been building relationships, guys. People know your face. So you really, really want to get your face, as uncomfortable as you might feel, you need to get your face in there. So I'm going to just make this a little smaller because I really don't want too big a version of me there. Now,
Alden said you should have done that. You need it bigger.
Yeah, but no.
This is a demonstration. see, look, even Sam doesn't like being on there.
I don't. It's horrible.
The reason I've done that is, can you see that it's faded out enough that you can still see it, but you can see where that dark green line is. You see this dark green line? Well, that's what's going to crop on a desktop. So if you drag that image so that it's just inside that green line, when that shows on a desktop, it's going to look like it's cropped perfectly, like it's just right at the top of the image, but it won't crop it off. So I would take it to that. But if you go into that green line,
you don't want to go into it, yeah,
that will crop when it's shown on a desktop.
Yeah.
So I would kind of take it right to the edge of that.
I should have got a picture
to make it look like you've really positioned it.
I should have got a picture of you. You would have been happier with putting your picture up there.
I don't care. I know what I look like.
And what we don't want to do on your cover image, guys, is you don't want to throw so much stuff on there that it's confusing. So personally, I prefer something that's much neater, no confusion, and that just people can just come along and it grabs them. I use this quite a lot in the group today. Grab you by the eyeballs. You want people to come, see it, and know exactly what it is you can do for them. So you want to put a bit of text in there from your, a lot of the time we tell people to put maybe their tagline in there. You can put the name of your group in there, but you've already got the name of your group. We've got our logo saying our name of our group, rather than typing it out again. And then we've got a bit of a tagline going underneath it. So it just tells people a little bit more about what our group is about. So if they didn't get it from Tribes for Home Business, we say grow a tribe of engaged prospects to promote your business using Facebook groups. That's just a bit of a tagline to really help people understand.
Just tell people what you do. Exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
Really simple.
If you could sum it up, like if you met somebody at a party and they said, "What do you do?" That's the line you'd use there. Just go, "I help people, whoever it is, whoever your audience are, do this or get this," so they can. If you want to, I wouldn't go probably more than about 2 or 3 lines on that, as quickly and succinctly as you can write it. But I would just say, I help whoever you help get whatever the result is.
Definitely. Now we've already got a logo. If you have got a logo that's got your name on it, fantastic. If you haven't, don't panic at this point. But I'm just going to use our one here. So we've got our logo here, and can you see as I move this around, Canva actually helps me massively. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that pink line down the middle? That's telling me that it's in the middle of the picture. Now if I move it down into here, can you see like it's in the crosshairs now? That's telling me I'm in the middle of the picture. So if you want to find out some good positioning, whether you're onto the side, to the middle, wherever you want to do, Canva is fantastic for this. So I'm just going to move this up so it's dead in the middle. Canva have helped me with that. So that's bang in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is come over to the left-hand side again, so I have to think about it, to where it says text. I'm just going to click on text. And I'm going to keep it really super simple. This is all I ever do. I literally just click this one here. All I ever do. And then I always use Quando. You can come here, you can choose any one you want. All I would say is if you're going to go with the font, try and stay with the same 1 or 2 fonts.
And make it readable.
Definitely.
Fancy fonts are brilliant. They look lovely, but if people have got to squint and go, what does that say? I can't quite read it, then you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
So always try and keep it clear rather than get too fancy and lose people.
Like this is somebody's I was working on a little while ago. They wanted this font. And as you can see, you can barely see it. Even if I was to make it a little bigger, you still would have to, what's the word? Just try and decipher what it meant.
Yeah.
It's much better. I know it can look lovely, but it's much better to be like really clear and know exactly what it is you want. So I'm going to go back to just using good old Quando because it works. So
think of it almost like a newspaper. You know, when people are reading the front page, you've got the big bold headlines, you'll have a headline, a sub-headline, and then the font underneath. But it's always that big, bold, impact font, something that's going to be able to be read from like across the street.
Grab their eyeballs.
So yeah, you just want it easy to read.
So what we want to do here is you just want to highlight the whole of the text, because it's letting me do that. Highlight the text or Command A, and then you just type your tagline. So I'm not going to even try and pull one out of my backside. I'm just going to say tagline, 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 because that's going to be your tagline.
It's going to be different for all of you.
Exactly, because that's what I just wouldn't try and do one for one and one for another, because that just wouldn't be fair. So this is going to be your tagline. And then what you can do up here, you can obviously change the font if you want, but you can actually make it bigger as well. So I'm going to make it just a touch bigger because I want it to be read. But obviously I need to be aware that it needs to be in this visible area. So I'm not going to put it up here. I'm not going to put it down here, but I will just put it on here. Actually, I'm not going to, and I'll tell you why I'm not going to. I'm going to put it there like this. So it's inside that area.
You're in the hot zone.
The hot zone.
In the middle.
Yeah, we want it in the hot zone. So I'm going to make that a little bigger like that. So we've got tagline, tagline, tagline there. So you can see that that's all within this, the hot zone. I like that. It's all within this area. So I've got a picture of me, my tagline, and our logo. Now over to this side, I can put an image. There's no problem at all. If I want to put something there, let's think of what we could put.
I would fill that space, but just don't put your most important information over there.
Nothing too relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What should we go for?
I have no idea. Whatever you want to.
Yeah, let's just put some.
Over there, maybe you could put something like that. You can put other social media icons. You could put a bit of text saying, go.
Social media icons would have been better.
Check out my other pages.
Considering we're all about Facebook, that would have been good. But guys, you get
whatever it is. Again, this is going to be really personal to you guys and your brand, right? Because there'll be certain things that represent your brand really, really well. You might have profiles on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever that you want people to know that you're over there as well.
Absolutely.
So put those social media icons in there. So
let's take that away because that does not represent us.
Like we've got the makeup picture there. So if the thing is makeup, you could go grab, and Sam's going to give you a cool resource for this in a short while.
I'm going to do it, yeah.
Or you can go and grab other images to put there.
I can't find any Facebook.
All right, pigeon.
All right, we got the pigeon. If you're in our VIP group, you know exactly what the pigeon is about. I'm not even going to go into that tonight. We got a pigeon because, you guys, shoes for pigeons. We're selling shoes for pigeons, guys. But you can find something that will actually represent your brand. And what I'm going to show you now is a really cool resource for that.
Stupid pigeons making me laugh now.
I would actually put something more Facebook there. But pigeons are ridiculous. But there's a website, you might want to take note of this, it's called PN for November, G, tree, as in tree. And this is what it looks like. And what it does, it gives you, well, there you go, 5,254,600 PNG files that you can download for free. If you can't find one here that represents what you do, I would be gobsmacked. I seriously would.
But do you notice what they've done there? It's the very first thing you see when you come to this page is this is what you're going to get.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is our name. This is what we do. Right?
Exactly.
Boom. You're under no illusion when you come to this website what you're going to get on this website.
It's absolutely brilliant. But you want to come here. Now, for us, it's Facebook. So I'm going to type in Facebook. For you guys, it might be healthy living, weight loss, makeup, whatever you're about. We're just going to type in whatever it is that you are looking for logos for. And then what it does, it gives you all of these different types of images that you can use on your social media. Now, some of them say that you have to give credit to the owner, so you can just put it somewhere on your social media, you give credit, or on your website. Others you can use for free. I'm just going to download any old one. I'm going to go for this one. I don't know why. So you click on the one that you want. Now with this site, you only get 2 downloads a day. So you can only actually download 2 a day. But if you're a bit savvy like me, I come on here pretty much every day and download my 2 freebies, because then I've got an amazing resource. I'm going to choose another one because that one looks like it may be commercial. So we're going to use this one. Okay. So I'm just going to click on the free download button.
And what I will say again, guys, because these are PNG files, the background is already cropped.
Yes.
So they might look like it's going to be a huge file with a big border around it, but when you upload that into Canva, all that background is going to be taken away.
Yeah, absolutely. So you literally just click download, and then again you click upload, and then you don't have the image. One moment, I'm going to try that again. Oh dear. So here it says you get 2 free downloads a day, and the more you use this, the more downloads they give you as well, which is amazing. Right, that worked that time. If you've been around us for any amount of time, you know that tech is never our friend. I don't know what it is. But again, you just come back to Canva, you click upload an image, and there you have my Facebook sign. So you just upload it, get rid of the silly pigeon. And can you see it's just waiting to upload? So we'll just give it a few seconds until it's finished. 1, 2, 3, come on. You can do it, and it's done. So then I just click on it again, and then I've got my logo, and I can just move it around. You literally just click on it, drag it wherever you want to put it, and then you can just grab the box at the edge and just make it smaller, bigger, whatever you want to do. But this kind of space over here is, I wouldn't say dead space, but it's just space that you can fill with something else that you want to fill with. And again, if you move it up and down, can you see again, you've got the pink line that appears to tell me I've got it in the middle. It's just a really easy system to use to help you line everything up. So that is, I'm going to leave it at that really, because it's quite simple.
It illustrates the point.
Exactly.
Guys, this is one of those times where this is only really limited by your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
What I would do, and this is a little cheeky, shouldn't really say this. What I would do is I would spend some time on Facebook and find somebody who you follow, who you admire, who has an image laid out the way you like. You know, just it all looks good to you. The proportions look right. The fonts look right. Maybe the color scheme, something like that. Now, I wouldn't say copy it,
No.
but what I would say is take inspiration from it. So
we're not about copying ever.
model what they've done, model the layout. If their photograph was taken in a particular way, maybe use that. Use a similar color, maybe use a similar font. Don't copy it, don't rip it off exactly, because nobody wants to be a cheap knockoff of somebody else.
Or even
you want to
from
be
a few
your own
different
thing.
ones.
Just grab inspiration
yeah.
from where you can. But this is really limited only by your creativity. Now, I know we're not all naturally creative, so I'm not suggesting for a minute I am. I'm terrible at this stuff. But I'll see stuff that I like. I'll pick up a color, and I think I like that color. I like it with that background. Usually, I'll go to like the newsagents and I'll look at the covers of magazines, because the guys that create those covers are paid a lot of money to come up with the right color combo against the right background color, with the person looking in, you know, like they do in the photos on the front of magazines. And I'll just go ahead and I'll literally copy the colors from the titles of a magazine, because it works with the background or whatever. You'll find inspiration everywhere. When you start looking at it with that eye, you'll see that there's brilliant color combos and things like that,
and the fonts
that work.
Yeah, I was going to say
they're
that.
everywhere.
Yeah.
All these professional magazine designers or people who create, go on Netflix, and you've got the guys that create like the thumbnails to go for the Netflix shows. there'll be certain shows and the font will just jump out at you and you'll be like, oh, I really like that. That's a nice looking font. That's a great colour. I'm going to use something like that. So look for inspiration wherever you can. Don't copy, but model. When you see something that works and when you see something that you like, borrow it.
Yes.
Or something like it.
Just remodel it to how you like it. Absolutely. But you can just see from this now that we have, I'm going to leave it there because I want to keep it quite simple. I don't want it too much on the eye, but you can still see my background, the template in the background. And obviously I do not want to upload that. So I'm going to go back, just click on the box so that the box is highlighted again. And I'm going to come back up to the transparency tool. And then, so if I bring it all the way to the top, you can see that's all of the template, which I do not want. But we're just going to take it all the way down to 0. And you can see the template is gone. Everything is in perfect proportion, but we can't see the template anymore. It's just exactly what we want to be using. Now,
what you could even do on there,
that's fine.
Sorry to make this different for you. That would probably look really nice with a gradient. I always like gradients. I think they look better than just solid colours.
Okay.
Do you not?
Yeah, that's fine. Is there a gradient on that?
Yeah. It's darker at the bottom and lighter at the top.
Okay.
Can you not see?
Yeah, not really. My eyes haven't got my glasses on. Looks great. But Canva's got all of these that you can use. So you can definitely use them and you can go up here and do things like add filters to them. I'm not going to do that, but you can come in here and have a really good play with that. Once you're happy with it, what you'll need to then do is save it. And as you're working on something that we've created, when you go to save it, say PNG, you must save it as a PNG because Facebook actually compress your images. And if you save it as a JPEG, it doesn't do a very good job of it. But if you save it as a PNG, it actually saves it as a much higher resolution. Sorry about that.
That was loud.
It's really loud, yeah. It saves it as a much higher resolution image.
Have you ever noticed when you upload a picture to Facebook, it looks really good on your phone or your desktop, and you upload it, and then Facebook do a really bad job of it, and it looks really fuzzy and pixelated, and it just looks horrible? That's why. It's because you've uploaded it as a JPEG, and it took us ages to figure this out actually. But if you upload it as a PNG, for some reason, Facebook don't hack it to bits like they do with the JPEG. It actually looks much cleaner.
And I
so always use a PNG when you can. Yeah.
Cover images, social media images, whenever I'm creating them, always make them PNGs. So what we want to do next is make sure this stage, you must do this, come to where it says select pages. And then you just want to download the one page that you've been working on. Otherwise, you are going to download everybody's work and then you have to unzip the file and it's all a big pain in the bum. So you just literally come down and you just want to save your one that you're working on. So you click it.
And you'll see which one it is because it will look like the image you want to download.
You click done and then you click download. And it will tell you exactly what it's doing. It's preparing. There we go.
I like that little saying that came up. Creativity takes courage. That's true. That's really true.
Yeah, it is actually. It does.
Whenever you do anything like this, you kind of putting yourself out there a little bit, and it does take courage to do this.
And it's hard sometimes to put it out there because you're thinking, oh, what's people going to think? I'm not sure. But just do it anyway. And you can't break Canva. Go and have fun with it. Just have fun. I love Canva so much. I'm just going to quickly come over to our test group so you can see what it looks like.
Another top tip, guys, if you don't have a test group, go start one. Go and open up another group. So when you're doing this kind of stuff, play around in the test group first, because if you upload an image into your regular group, into your the group that you're trying to build, and you look at it and you go, I don't like that. That doesn't look right, or I've made a mistake. Every time you upload a new header image, all of your group get notified.
And they get really annoyed.
If you're uploading and downloading images to try and get it to look right, and you're doing it over and over again, all your group will get notified every single time. Yeah. So put it in a test group where it's just you and maybe somebody else, like another person that does work for you or something. And then it's only really you that's going to see it. Until you're happy with it, make sure it all fits inside the test group nicely, then go and upload it to your main group.
You can see that that's exactly what we do here. We come here and we upload our test images before we do anything. So you literally just come to your group cover image, upload picture. I'm going to upload the new one that we've just created. And there you go. You can see that it's just at the top where I wanted it to be. So you can move it a tiny bit, not very much.
I don't think you can. Look, it's the exact right dimensions.
Yeah, just a tiny little bit if you wanted to. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save that so you can see that I've got everything just in the right place. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing because I'm not sure how big my thing is there, because I want to show you how it looks on my mobile. You actually just check the questions there.
Yes, I will. Sorry. Was that helpful though, guys? I know it can be a little techie. It's always hard teaching tech over a Zoom.
There you go. I'm just going to show you. It looks really good next to the pink. But can you see that on a mobile it looks perfect? Because it's top and bottom, it's not been cropped. But it looks still really cool on the desktop. It doesn't look like there's not enough on there because of a little bit of space. It looks exactly how it should do. And you've put everything inside the cropping area so it doesn't look weird. Another thing I wanted to show you, can you see, when you go into groups, you know we've got this new group, let me just go back again. So when you go into all of your menu, can you see the menu? And then you have the groups option, trying to click it. So this is all of my groups all the way up the top. And can you see how that, do you know that middle section that was the hotspot, as Steve called it, inside that group cover image? That is what is shown in this your group section. Your hotspot, that little section is what is shown. So you can see there our 30 days to impact group, another group that I've got, our tribes group. It's showing the hotspot there. So if you can keep your main information inside of that hotspot, when Facebook pick out what they want to show you, let me just see if I've got any here that I can show you examples of. Oh, look, it's already come up. Oh no, it's not come up on that one. Durr. Doesn't matter. But you get what I'm saying. You just want to make sure that that information is bang in the middle so that people can actually see what you're about when they come onto the groups, the groups thread, because a lot of it is just about brand recognition. I don't even have to look at somebody's group name. I can just tell from their picture and their colors that it's their group. And that's what we want to get for you guys, that you just instantly recognized.
Sorry, I'm just reading through the comments. Yeah. I've got Jen having a go at me saying I've got double chins. I've got more chins than a Chinese phone book, but I can't stand on mine like you can.
Ouch! We have newbies on tonight. You're not allowed to do this. It's all right. Jen's like our little sister, little older sister.
Little legs. She got the little legs.
We love you, Jen. Jen's our community manager. She can handle it.
She can take it. She's all right. She knows. Yeah. So this is where the questions really start. Right. I think Kez said, "Is there a difference between the app and the desktop?" I will go on and I'll say my piece on that. Personally, doing graphics on a phone, on an app, especially with my old eyes, I can't do it. I need to do it on a desktop. You're always, when anything graphic needs to be done, you are always going to be better off on a desktop. Yeah, you use the app? How do you find it?
I hate it. It's really limiting. And on a desktop, you've got everything there. It's really easy to find everything. On a phone, it's just so hard. So if you have got access to a desktop, I would say use it. Much, much easier. What would take you 20 minutes would probably take you 3 hours on a phone. I'm really au fait with Canva, but anytime I go onto Canva on my phone, forget it. It just takes so much time. Yeah. I don't think Jen thought you were going to see that one.
she thought she got away with that one. There was another one, I think it was Claire, who said, actually I've lost the train of thought there, something about the background. Layers like in GIMP, Jen said, yeah, exactly. Like GIMP is another graphics platform. They all pretty much use that layer effect. It's exactly the same thing. Right. But GIMP is a little more technical, I would say.
I'm just going to share my screen again just for a question that's come up about the colours. Bear with me, guys. So what you can do in Canva is you can actually keep all of your branding colours there. Now, on a free version, I think you can only save 3 colours. So I'm on the actual paid version. I can't remember if it's like a tenner or £12 or something. Actually, do you know what? I think it's £9, but it's so worth it, guys. It is. I use this all day, every day, worth every single penny, because you can see here, I work on a lot of different people's stuff, and a lot of what we're doing as well. So I can have our brand colors. So this is HBC, oh, it's HBC. This is Tribes now. This is Tribes colors. This is Facebook colors. This is the First Class colors. I've got other colors down here. I can add as many branding colors as I want here. And all I literally do is just click add. And then you can just put your hex codes in here. So you can go to something, just type in on YouTube, on Google, color palettes, and it will give you like 5 really complementing colors. And then, or if you've got a color that you like, you can just grab whatever the code is there and add it, and it will add it to your palette.
I'll give you another tip, because I use this all the time. If you're on the internet and you see something and you think, I like that color, but you don't know what that color is, like if you're on somebody else's website and you think that's a nice color, I want to use that, nice color combo. If you go into Chrome as a browser and you go into add-ons, you can get a Chrome extension called Color Picker.
This is what I've got up here. I'll show you exactly how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Color Picker. And basically, it will allow you to hover over. When Sam shows you how to do this, you activate it, and then you can hover over a color. That,
and then you just hover. Anywhere you take your cursor, it will actually pick up that color. So I'm going to come over here to, oh, I can't do it on, I was going to do it on Christine's jumper, yeah.
Go over any one of those. Go to the blue of the cushion.
I'm going to go to the blue of the cushion, yeah. Well, where's the blue? Hang on. I don't want to get the silver.
You're in the grey. I said the blue. The blue.
I could do it.
Just hover over the blue. So if you look at that, where you put the crosshairs, can you see the little number at the bottom of that screen? It's like 021A78. That number is specific to that exact shade of blue. So if you go into Canva, if you make a note of that number, and then you come into, just copy the number.
And then when you've done it, just X on it, just cross it so it comes out. And you just come back up here and plus, and then you just paste that hex code here.
You can see it's picked out that exact colour blue. So you can copy like any colour on any web page, anywhere on the internet. So when you see a colour that you like, and you think, I'd love to know what that colour is.
It's all free.
I don't know how to get that. I don't know, you can guess it, but you can never get it quite right. That particular number is the exact colour and shade of the colour that you're picking.
And it's called colour, and it's the American spelling colour, C-O-L-O-R. So I'm just trying to get it again. Colour
picker or pick.
No, it's colour pick eyedropper. That's the one. Colour pick eyedropper.
There will probably be about 2 or 3 different ones. I believe there are a few variations of it, but look at the reviews. You'll find the most popular one on there. They all do much the same thing. But it's a really useful tool. Yeah. If you're doing any kind of design work at all, it's really useful to do that. So if you want to do something and you want to throw a bit of Facebook blue on it, then you can go and grab the exact color that Facebook use. And just, if you want to put a little frame around something in Facebook blue, you can just go and grab the exact shade, the exact color by using those hex codes.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at the questions. If I've missed any questions, if you want to retype them in, I'm just trying to see.
Claire said about, is it a good idea to use a bright colour background?
No. When you were doing the thing and you had grey, I was sending you the message, change it to a brighter colour. And as I pressed enter, trigger finger, Sam Hardine beat me to it again.
See, Claire, you and me, Claire, you and me.
Me, not you.
It wasn't. I'll take the credit.
All right, you can take the credit this time. Okay.
It was you, actually.
Sue says here, how do you add the little additional text boxes that some have in their image? Different shaped boxes.
How do you add? You can add as many different things on there as you like. When you say different shaped boxes, it will just be a shape.
Absolutely. I'm just going to very quickly go back in and just show you.
Yeah, for sure.
What you can do is you come over to here. Can you see my screen again? See my screen? Yeah? Everyone see? Yeah? Okay. We come over to here where it says elements, okay? And when you click on elements, it eventually comes up.
You need to get rid of the colour picker thing.
I do.
It's still going.
get off here, go away, go away, go away, go away. So we click on elements, and it brings up the most amazing resource that you can use on here. There are so many things. You've got all of these different kinds of shapes that you can use, squares, hearts, whatever you want to use. There's tons and tons and tons of them. And there's also, which I love, bear with me, let's cross that out. Where are we got? We've got these, you've got lines, illustrations. I'm trying to look social media. Some of them are paid for, some of them are not. So you just have to look at what you can find. I'm just trying to find, this one is really cool, frames. So what you can do is, say for example, let me just move me out of the way for a second. Now what you can do, can you see that this iPhone image? You can use this iPhone image and just drag it over onto your background. You want to make sure it's within the screen. And this background here is where you can put your own image into the iPhone. So cool. So what I can do is drag my picture and just drag it into the iPhone. And there you are. I'm in the iPhone, and you can upload any image and put it in there, and you can get it looking so much better than that. But you can also do that with, you might have seen that I do this on the, what do you call it? Treasured Tribes on a Sunday, Inside Tribes. So I have a frame like this, and I have my 2 Treasured Tribe members, and then I get my frame, and then I just go to uploads again. And then I get a picture of somebody that's not me. Let's get somebody else who I might have here. Sure, I had somebody. And let's put Jen in there. And then, oh, it's got both of us. Okay, but you can move it around and you can put whatever image you want, and it just frames your picture so much better to actually have a nice frame in it. It's just a case of moving the image around until it kind of captures it, and then it brings it into your image. And again, you can use different types of elements just for text. So you could use just a square one. You could have just one that's got a frame on it. So you could actually, if I wanted to, I could put a frame around this Facebook logo here. You can make it bigger and smaller, and just,
that's the thing, you just need to go in and play with this stuff.
It really is.
Just go in and have a little bit of fun with it, because you can't break it, but there is so much in this program that you can do in like minutes.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't take any time at all to do it.
So clever, so clever.
Will the pigeon be seen next?
I'm a bit worried that the pigeon will be cropped. Yeah. Jen said, if you have one more, it's a brilliant tip. If you have more than one email address, and you only get 2 free images a day from each one, so log out, log back in with a different email address, and you can get more. Yes, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we're coming back to the questions. Canva is easy. It's relative. If you've never used it before, it's really, really hard. When I first started using it, I was out of my depth, but you just got to play with it. Just go in there and have a play.
Let's be honest, it's not difficult, it's just new. And anything new, there's always a learning curve. Doesn't matter whatever it is, there's always going to be a certain amount of a learning curve. Now, there are certain things that aren't worth the learning curve. You know, you could sit there for hours and hours trying to figure something out, and you get a really, really small return out of it. And there are other things like Canva that you'll spend a few hours, but the payoff is massive, because what it'll allow you to do is just create all your own custom graphics for as long as you want to be able to do it. So the payoff is huge. I would say put some time into it. Just spend a few hours, you know, Saturday afternoon, just lock yourself away and just get on the laptop or the desktop, have a little play with it and see what you can do, because you'll be amazed at the results. And you'll be really chuffed with yourself, because you'll create something and you'll just sit back and go, man, that looks fantastic. That looks really, really cool. And you'll be like, I did that. I'll put that together, and you'll be away.
I just wanted to go back on something. If you've got the free version of Canva, you can save 3 of your colours. But what I did before I upgraded, what I did is I kept all my colours in Trello. And you guys have all been doing Trello if you're new to us this week, or this past week and a bit. So I just used to save all my hex codes in Trello. So whenever I did any work, I could go back and grab them from Trello. But now I've got the upgraded version, so it's just much, much easier. If you can push the boat out, it's worth getting. If not, Trello is brilliant to save that sort of stuff as well. Any recommendations on colours to avoid? I wouldn't say avoid, but I think go on to something like the Google colour palettes, because you will find out what works really well with other colours. You don't want anything.
Colour is actually a big subject.
It's huge.
It's a huge subject because,
personal.
yeah, there are certain colours that, it really depends. It's personal to you guys. There are certain colours that evoke certain emotions. Like if you do a really bright red, that can be a bit of a danger colour. So subconsciously people associate that with danger. Bright yellow and bright red together they're very taxing colours to look at. That's why McDonald's, to be a geeky, nerdy trivia, that's why McDonald's restaurants are bright yellow and bright red, because they don't want people sitting in the tables too long.
Yeah,
they're like this. Yeah. But you go into a McDonald's and you don't want to stay there that long because the colours are too garish. And they did it on purpose so that people would eat their food and go. They don't want people loitering at the tables too long. So colour definitely has a psychological effect. But I would also say that you don't want to go the direct opposite and be too muted, because if you go really, really muted, you're not going to stand out. So you want something that pops a certain amount without being really kind of ostentatious and hard on the eyes. Like I wouldn't put a bright yellow over a fairly strong blue, because it's going to take a bit of focus on the eyes to take it all in. Certain colours just don't work well together.
Aqua and cream. We use a lot of greens. Aqua.
Yeah, we are a little muted actually. We went for the muted look on, because it's difficult, because if you go like royal blues and things like we kind of did in first class, it looks a little corporate. If you go for bright pinks and stuff like that, it's kind of funky and young, and you know.
And what are you saying about us? But we
I'm
have
not
to
saying
be
anything
careful.
about us. I'm just saying it's.
But we are the two of us. So I mean, I love girly. I love pinks and lilacs, and we couldn't really go for that because obviously Steve's in the business as well. So we've had to go for something that's the two of us. But if you are just appealing to women or to men, if you're a guy watching this, then you can afford to go with more manly or girly colours. Steve does love a bit of pink. Don't forget
you'll see colours as you go around though. That's like I said before, you will see things that just kind of pop and you think that looks really nice. I like those two colours together. I'm going to use it. There's another resource as well, which I'll share with you. And I always go in and type in Adobe Color Wheel. I think or Adobe Color into Google. And I think the website is actually called Color with a K, KOLOR.com. It's an Adobe resource. If you put in a principal color, it will give you recommendations across the spectrum of complementing colors that you can use. And I think they go about 15 degrees in direction away from that color. So it's very mathematically worked out that this color will work with that, this will complement it, and this will be a complete contrast. So you'll get about 5 colors that all kind of really work together, but you need to start off with one principal color to sort of build on. But yeah, if you type in color, I think it's KOLOR, into Google, you should get that website, and you can just play around and drag the wheel and it will just change the whole thing for you. And it will give you a color combo that you just think, that's it, that's the colors I like, go with that. So it's a little bit of trial and error.
It is, it definitely is. And what I'm going to do, I will get into the group. So I'm going to put it into the 30-day group, and for the VIP first class, I'll put that in there as well. I'll give you the link to the template for you to use. If you can just remember to click on copy first of all, because the top one is the standard one, and then you just do your one underneath. Once you've done it, you can then delete it so that other people won't come along and take your, not that they would, but you can just, once you've worked on it, you'll download it, you're happy with it, you can just delete it so that it just leaves the top one up there again. But you are welcome to use that if it's going to help you with your design. Jen?
Just a quickie, do you want me to put a post on first class or in Tribes just to see if people want to add what they do and they update the cover pictures as they try it, to say and then show what they've done or not? Worth doing that?
I'm really sorry, say again. Sorry.
You know, if anybody's going to go and try Canva and try and renew cover pictures and profile pictures using it,
yeah,
put a post up that people can add what they've done, their mates.
What they've done. Brilliant. Okay, yeah, if you could do that it's not in tribes, because this isn't in tribes, this is in the 30-day group.
Right, okay.
If you want to do it in there, that'd be brilliant. Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect, yes. And I will get this in there. Edwina, you going? You can't go. I haven't taken a picture. No, smile. If ever you've come on my Zooms, our Zooms, I always take a picture. Sorry, guys. Standard. Lovely smiley face.
Where's Diane? I can only see the ceiling.
A big smile, Edwina. Come on.
Pretend you got a coat hanger in your mouth.
I'm going to use that one. Thank you, my lovely. We're going to go in a minute anyway. I've got a daughter downstairs that I'm waiting to hug because I haven't seen her in over a week. Is there any more questions before we go, guys? I'm not going to show you.
You look like the Brady Bunch. You could just sort of see these heads. It's quite good from this side.
Can you see that?
Can I ask one question?
Use a different
I didn't
one,
see it. What
promise.
was she doing?
This is a really big eyes. Has anybody got any questions before? Has that been helpful? Has that been helpful?
Can I ask a Canva question in case you missed a comment? I don't know if you know this, but is there any way of moving your uploaded images around?
Did see that, and I was going to answer it tonight, and then I forgot. No. So I've not found one, which is a real pain because I have to go all the way down to find it, all the way up again. It's a real pain in the bum.
Yeah.
But what I would do is, if you've got uploads and then you don't need to keep them, just get rid of them or save them somewhere and just keep you, because yeah, I have to keep re-uploading things. It's a bit of a pain. I haven't found anyway.
Chances are you probably will have to go over this once or twice. Sorry, a couple of questions. Yes, Susie, I think you had your hand up first.
Yeah. So 2 quick questions on the Canva stuff. How do you save the colors? Like I know how to get the colors and the numbers, but I don't know how to save them. I have the free version. And then when you were doing the frames, putting the picture in the frame, you said you could move it around. I can't ever get it to move around. I can't change the size. It's just like stuck that way. Is that just because I'm on the free version or?
What, you can't change the size of the frame?
No, like how you have Jen, you and Jen, I can change this, but it won't change. See, it doesn't change the picture perspective?
No, it doesn't. I'm not
okay,
quite sure
I just thought maybe I was missing something.
No,
It does. Sorry, if you double click on the picture.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
then you can move it.
Ah, right, okay.
Here you go, Jen.
Now we just got Jen. That's
okay.
Let's make that.
I don't know why it won't work on mine. I'll have to try again.
There we go. There's Jen.
So
I will get my own back on you. You do know this, don't you?
You love me too much. You wouldn't get your own back. And colours. Right. So basically, when we go up here, it's difficult because I've actually got the paid version, so I can't remember how you do it. I think you just literally click on. I don't really remember. Bear with me.
Yeah, because it's free. I can't figure out how to save like even the 3.
Yeah.
I think
You have to add a palette.
I think it's just clicking on brand colours.
Yeah.
Click on brand colours. That will. I've only got 1 there, but I think it should bring up the 3 that you're allowed to do, or add another palette.
Yes. Yes. When
Okay. Thank you.
you go to home and you edit.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You click on the colour palettes and then you just upload the colour that you want, and then there you go. We've got
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Claire.
Just in relation to Jen's question about the uploads, you can actually create your own folders in Canva. So you could have, if you go over to the bit that says folders and then create new, so you can have.
You mean you can be organised?
No.
Is that in the free version though, Claire?
So
I don't
I think so, yeah, because it's in the folders.
Show me.
And then see where it says create new?
So you can create a folder that's like all pictures of
the
you,
logos.
or logos.
Yeah.
Or, see, look.
That's amazing.
I don't think I've got that on the free version. Folders, have I?
That's just the best thing ever, because when I'm looking at my uploads, seriously, I have got hundreds and I'm scrolling and I'm scrolling. And I just never knew. I've seen folders there all the time. I've never used them. So thank you, Claire.
I've never noticed it. Thank you, Claire.
That's 2 things I knew about Canva. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to share that.
See, you know more than you think you do.
That's cool. That's
I need to get my microphone back up because I'm so excited.
What happened to the
For you
microphone?
people, this is my real life microphone.
microphone. Karen, Claire, oh, actually, we do. We have.
There you go.
Beat that. Oops.
My microphone's just.
That's so cool.
Mine is bigger. Mine is bigger.
We record these each week for our VIP group, but I did say to everybody that anybody who left a review on our new page, I would get to, but I'm just going to snap a picture of everybody's name, and I'll make sure you guys all get a replay of it as well, because it's not always easy to walk through it as we're doing it. So I'm just going to snap it. I won't use this picture. I just want to make sure I've got everybody's name who is on. And what I'll do, I won't promise it tonight because I'm going to go and get daughter hugs, but tomorrow I'll get it across to you. If you were on here tonight, I'll make sure you all get the recording, and I'll get you the shareable template as well. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, guys. I hope you enjoyed that.
Enjoy playing around inside of
Yeah,
Canva. Just
go
go mess
fun.
around in there. You cannot break it.
And Jen, if you could do that in 30 days group, that would be brilliant to start a thread, and then come and share what you've done. And then if you want to get feedback from everybody else, that's the power of the group. It is like a mastermind, because you might get people saying, oh, mate, I can't read that font, or that text needs to be a bit bigger or something. So just get some feedback and yeah, come share it with us all. Brilliant. Sue's off to have some more wine. Enjoy. We are off to have a cup of tea with little Mads. And we will see you all in 30 days and first class tomorrow.
See you guys.
Thank
Thanks
you
for jumping
hanging.
on. Brilliant to hang with you.
Bye.
See you. Thank you.
See you.